Well, hello there everybody, welcome back to another video. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. We're getting hot and bothered by the 100 Deluxe. I'm just gonna keep rubbing it and being weird. Hello, how are you doing? So this amp is a monster amp. The Friedman guys, of course, asked me if I wanted to check it out, and I was like, yo, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours! So we are checking this out today. I'm gonna hit you with these P90s. I'm gonna get the Les Paul out. We're going to be rocking and rolling. Make sure you check out their video. I'm not going to deep dive into every little nook and cranny that this thing has to it because it does so much. This video would be an hour long. It's already going to be a long video, but make sure you check their video. This thing is an incredibly feature-rich amp, but it's kind of like as simple as you want it to be as well. It all depends on the player, but man, it's a beast. So let's go ahead and let's get rocking and rolling, yo. For signal chain, real quick, I'm going to be running out of the BE100 Deluxe into my 2-notes, which has a 412 cabinet. It's just mic'd up with a 57, essentially. And I do have some effects going through the effects loop. If you are wondering when I turn them on, I'll tell you when I have them on. But I have a Hall of Fame reverb and then a carbon copy delay going through the effects loop for, you know, delay and reverb whenever I want to kick it in and rock out. So let's talk about this side. It's a very, very straightforward. There is a switch on the back, which is a clean fat switch. So if you want to fatten up the sound a little bit, you can. I currently have that turned off because I just like the way that it sounded as is. And like I said, it's very straightforward. Now, one thing that's really, really cool that I should point out before we do this, all the channels have their independent, volumes essentially. And there's also a global volume on this side too, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But anyway, so the Plexi side, the clean channel, you can see I have the volume at around 12 o'clock, mids around 1 o'clock, treble around 1 o'clock, bass around noon, and you have a bright switch. Now I have the gain, like I said, pretty rock. But there is a bright switch on the front here if you want to check it out. You do need to have the gain rolled down a little bit. You hear it more severe. Okay, I like it all the way to the right. You can hear how it's kind of like cutting some of that high end. So I like it all the way to the right. I would take some of that bass down, a little more treble. There we go. Now if I wanted to hit it with some reverb, I got a Hall of Fame right here. I'll tell you what, I've said it in other amp videos, but I can always tell if an amp's good because I'll sit there and play it and not turn on any effects. I'm like, it's like a good steak, I don't need anything extra. It's just good. So, and if you want to hit it with some reverb, you totes can. Sorry, delay, not reverb. That is the good old carbon copy that you're hearing. Okay, now it's not all distorted because like I said, it is a clean channel. So if you want to have clean, and the reason why you really need a 100 watt amp for this kind of stuff is the headroom. So obviously you could simply turn the gain down real low and turn the volume up, and you're going to have like a crystal clear kind of clean. You hear there's no breakup happening now. So if you just want that clean, again, I'll turn on the delay, reverb, modulation, whatever you want. There's plenty you can do with that. And like I said, I like to use basically any clean channel. I never really have a clean channel this clean. This is very good. A lot of people like that sparkly kind of clean. I like to have at least a little bit of grit. That way if I dig in, like to me that's a clean channel I want to use with pedals. So you hear it has that bite to it. Okay, so let's move on to channel number 2, the BE side. I almost forgot and didn't use humbuckers on the Plexi side. Ugh, what kind of guy would I be not to play a Les Paul through a Plexi setting? I'll end up sitting here playing this thing all day. Let's move on to channel number 2. Boom! Channel number 2, the BE side of this amp. Yo, you got me in Les Paul fever, so I'm gonna ride the Les Paul here for a little bit. And, okay, so this side now, we are getting some more options happening for us. So this is going to be your gain 1, volume 1, all that kind of stuff. You do have a shared EQ here happening between the BE and the HBE side, but now we are no longer talking about this Plexi section. Now with that comes with this voicing switch, which is going to only affect the drive channel, so the BE and HBE side. And basically this is a high frequency cut. I like it off, so middle is off. Whatever that just was. But like I said, you can throw it to the left. If you want to, you know, cut some of that high end, you can. Hear how it's darker, a little bit more like thickness to it. My words aren't working today. All the way to the right is the most cut. Very dark. Now here's what's interesting. So it's a super dark sound at this point. You might not want it that dark. I know personally I wouldn't have a purpose for that. What you can do is, you know, you can either dial in more treble because it's going to make the amp feel different than without it being on there. So it's just another tone option. So like I said, if I dialed in more presence, it's a different tone than what I had before the switch was turned on. So it's just another way of kind of like maybe finding that sound that you're looking for. Again, for me, I like the presence on there. I like the voicing switch in the middle. That's just off, essentially. Well, you guys know I like a more bitey tone. We have that, your treble knob, gain knob, all that stuff do exactly what you think they do. I'm not gonna really dive into that stuff too much. Dave's stuff always has a really nice curve to the way the stuff hits. It's not like super dramatic, but there's plenty of wiggle room to work with. If you want to hear all the gain 1, dimed out. Sorry, I always forget. You guys always ask neck pickup tones. Play some neck pickup tones, and I never use my neck pickup. So here you go. Let's hear some P90s. Anyways, without the delay and all the effects, 90 action happening. Oh, whew! We in the highest gain setting now. Okay. So here's what we have happening. Now, I purposely waited to talk about this stuff down here for the higher gain because I think it kind of showcases itself really, really well with the higher stuff. Now, one of the biggest things I loved about my Friedman BE100 Deluxe that I have is the fact that it has this thump knob. And like I said, it's kind of a harder thing to hear through YouTube, but if you ever play one of these amps in person, you feel it. You can hear it and feel it much better in person. So the thump knob, it's not just adding more bass. It's like this low end thickness to it. It's hard to explain. I'm sure that was incredibly annoying. I'm just trying, like I said, I can hear it so clear, but I know YouTube is gonna just like murder it. So essentially what's happening is all the way to the right, I asked Dave about this specifically. So here's what's happening. So all the way to the right, this is what happens more in your standard BE side. This is basically the BE voicing. So I went back to the BE. That's what that kind of is. In the middle, you're adding a little bit more of that low end to it. And then all the way to the left, Dave had said it's kind of like his like JJ or Butter Slacks. It's really deep setting. So I really like this one a lot. Like I said, the JJ or Double J, to those who want me to make sure that I say Double J, the Double J amp is, I love the thickness of it. Like I said, I like it on. I don't have the thump. I rolled it up, you know, excessively loud so you could hear it. Now the other one, of course, is your President's knob. It does, you know, thing. But down here you have a response switch. Now on my 50, I have a response knob. This one is, again, to the right is your BE response. This is how the brightness, it's a negative feedback, is what Dave was saying it is. It's putting a lot more of that brightness in there. In the middle is a lot. I liked it to the right the best. But you know, again, you hit that switch, maybe roll off some of that high end that the amp has the treble, you're gonna get a different sound, you know, just like with the voicing switch, it was giving you a smoother distortion. This is gonna give you a little more bite, all that kind of stuff. So it's really, man, there's so much of this amp does. And we're not even done yet. There's controls on the back. Well, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't going to show you this, but I'm going to show it anyways. I have no way to show it other than walking behind the amp and playing for you guys to see this part. Alright, now on the back of the amp, you have a lot of other controls too. Like I said, this isn't going to be a deep dive. Friedman has their own video that's going to go through everything real, like fine-tooth comb it. But you have a gain structure, which is, I have it set on the highest gain setting. You could, you know, flip it up and go to more like AC/DC. You have a saturation switch. I believe it's called a C45 switch, which is one that Dave said that he has on his BEs. And then you have your clean fat switch, which, like I said, I'm not going crazy into the stuff. I just want to show you the front of the amp. And I thought it sounded fantastic as it was. I know there will be other demos where people are gonna, like I said, really get those nitty-gritty details for you. So this is it, guys. This is an incredible amp. Make sure you check out Friedman's video, Friedman's page. They'll have all the information for you. And I thought about, while the amp's here, I'll have it for a couple more days. I thought about doing a comparison video of the 50 to the 100. You guys can let me know down below if you're interested in that. This video is already way too long. And I think that's it. It's a monster amp. Huge thank you to the guys at Friedman for letting me check it out. And I'm going to be sad to see it go. This amp is a beast. So, till next time, guys, I will see you all later. Peace out, homies. Keep on rocking. I'll see you later.